Hi guys, how you doing? So we got a bit of a July update here. It's July the 2nd. I should have done this yesterday, July the 1st, but I was busy doing other stuff at this bench with models, as you know if you watch the videos. So I start by saying a big thank you to everybody who subscribed to the channel. I've just looked just now and there's 3,845 subscribers. I can't believe this. I can remember like really being excited about getting 500. This is mental. And what's really nice is I think most of those original people that started watching me from the beginning is still there. It's really great. Still there, still commenting, still having a dig. You know, you got Vasily and having a dig at me, and then there's good old Gary Murphy keeps coming back with loads of comments and all sorts. Yeah, and then there's Darren. Darren's good as well. He comes back with some good stuff. So yeah, it's really good to hear from you guys, and I really do enjoy getting your comments. Obviously I don't enjoy the negative stuff, but I do take stuff on board. If you have a negative criticism and I can see the point in your criticism, then I will take it on board. For instance, I had not a criticism but an opinion this week that maybe the interference on my microphone was due to my camera. My camera, which is actually my iPhone 6 that you're looking at me through now. And sure enough, I put airplane mode on. I think the problems have gone away, so let's see. Probably saying that, as I said, that is probably a great crackle over it or something. So yeah, and also I want to say a big thank you to all my Patreon pledgers, if you like, people who've pledged money on Patreon. It's really grateful. The money is building up in that account. I'm leaving it there until there's enough there to get the camera, and then I'll get the money out. I don't just want to flitter it away on kits and stuff. I can use my own pennies for that. So yeah, so for June we've got, I have to write the name down because there's a few of them. This is the people who've basically pledged money in June is Roger Stoneham, Steve Williams, Mike Hornsey, Mike Garzinski, and I know he was going to say I was going to struggle with his name. In fact, where are you, Mike? I haven't heard from you for a while, so hope you're okay. Robert Sanders and Gabrielle Palmieri. So and Gabrielle was like last minute in June. It was like the last day of June, I think. So yeah, thank you very much. Really appreciated. And like I said at the beginning, it doesn't feel right kind of asking for money, but most other people on YouTube do it. So I thought, well, why not? If people want to give, they will. I'm not gonna you know, force anybody. Of course I can't force anybody, but I'm not gonna sort of turn around and say you're gonna get special privileges or whatever, or at least not yet. I think there's so many people doing this and giving up their money. I think they should be given some priority over something for doing it. So maybe they get to choose the next build or something, or maybe you say I've got £100 of your money to spend. You vote for a kit out of these 10 or whatever, maybe something like that. So and that'll be for the Patreon people only. So where are we then? Build-alongs, we've got the two build-alongs going, the Typhoon and the Junkers 88. Both kits have proved to be not very suitable for beginners. The Junkers 88 has got some, I wouldn't say serious, but it's got some fit issues, and it's certainly not a shake and bake kit at all. But I've seen the work that people have been doing on it, and they're doing a really good job. Having said that, it all seems to have gone a bit quiet. So if you've sort of given up or are not interested anymore, let me know and I'll just turn it off, you know. The Typhoon, it's an Edard kit. It's number 11117. Don't buy it. Do not buy that kit. Basically, it's a old Hasegawa tooling with a load of Edard photo etch and some resin. Great, I hear. What's wrong with that? Absolutely wonderful. Yeah, it's a Hasegawa kit. It's very basic. It's a very old Hasegawa kit. It also has these inserts that go into the fuselage, so they could choose. They could have the car door or the bubble canopy with the same fuselage, and they don't really fit very well at all. And then you've got the photo etch. You've got stupid tiny little boxes that aren't even going to be seen in the cockpit, and then they go and make a photo etch seat that's too big. So it's a bit, I don't know. I'm not happy. I don't dislike Edard. I love Edard products. I've just ordered some more Edard for the Bronco, and I've got, as you can see, probably here. If you look there, where am I pointing? Here, there you go. You can see my stack of big headsets there. I've got loads, and I've got nothing against LR, but when kit manufacturers do stuff like that, you know, you take an old kit, you put a load of improvements into the box, and then it turns out to be a dog. It's like a waste of money. And apparently the new Typhoon from Edard is much better. So yeah. So yeah, I think I'm going to have to get a resin seat for it to get my mojo back into that kit, so I can actually build it and enjoy looking at it. I think it's going to look a lovely model when it's built. It's a Typhoon. It's going to be beautiful and big and chunky. I love the way they stand on their wheels wide apart, and it's going to look lovely. It's just getting over this cockpit issue. The Bronco is here. I've been doing some work on that. The seams in the bottom of the booms have proven to be a bit of a nightmare. You basically got a panel line directly down where the joining seam is, and it makes it a little bit awkward to scribe back in. I've actually scribed this one in twice, and if you look there you can see it's now got another layer of Mr. Surfacer over it. I keep having to refill it because I keep getting it off, and I want it to be right. So I think this kit's worth the time. I've also put some plastic card in the back of the undercarriage bay there to make it look you know, just as good as the rest of it does. But I really love this kit. I've previously had not a lot of good things to say about Kitty Hawk, which hasn't really fair because I don't think I've built one. But this is I think it's a lovely kit. It's just their instructions are ridiculous. I mean, maybe if Kitty Hawk are watching, I can always do your instructions for you and plan the builds if you want, because apparently it's not the only kit. You keep getting your instructions wrong, and you tell people to put stuff on in silly times that are going to get broken off. So yeah, and then of course we've got the Hellcats, which as you know, I'm doing two. I'm doing the FAA and the US Navy version. I love this kit, absolutely love it. As you know, I'm using Airscale, the beautiful Airscale upgrade sets in both of them. There's been some talk about instrument panels being incorrect in this set. I fully disagree. In fact, with this set you get the option to have rockets or not. The cockpit layout in the kit has the rocket firing control panel in it. This doesn't. So if you want to build one without rockets, this is what you need. I've even emailed Yeovilton and asked the question about armaments and seat belts and stuff, and differences between the US and the British versions. Now I've got photographs that show different rockets. They don't use the HVR rockets, the 5-inch. They've got the normal big rockets that you get on the Typhoon. I can't remember what they're called now, but they've actually got rails as well instead of just the 2 feet hanging down. They call them zero-length rails, believe it or not. That means a rail that's not there, surely. So yeah, so they're coming along beautiful. I've just had a look now. They've had over 45,000 views, those videos, including the reviews and the FAA and the US Navy one. Over 45,000 views. I'm absolutely stunned. Absolutely stunned. Really chuffed. And thanks guys, because it's just incredible. I've just done a video now. I'm going to upload it for you later. Last night being Monday the 1st of July, sat down to the bench, didn't really feel like doing a photo etch. You must know what I mean, guys. Sometimes you sort of look at this stuff and think, you know, oh God, no, I just want to glue some plastic together. So I thought, I know, I'll make a start on the engine. Yeah, great. This is the second one. That's how far I got. This is the crankcase, the main crankcase that goes at the middle of the engine. Yeah, it needs to be machined. So here's one that's turned. So have a look at that video when it's up. I've actually got this up on my lathe, machined it so that all these parts fit. For instance, I can show you now. This is the front cover off the engine, yeah, the little front cover where the prop hub comes out of. If you look at this, is the machine. This is the non-machined one. Well, first of all, I'll show you the machined one. This is the one I've machined, and there's fitted on. Okay, off, on. Yeah. This is out of the box. You've got a little slot in here, and then you've got a tab in there you have to line up. I can push it on, you can see about halfway, but I can't push it on all the way. So yeah, and then you've got your rings and everything, they won't even go near it. Your push rods and everything, they won't go near it. So this all needs to be machine down. So what I did, I covered it in black magic marker and then turned it so you could see the bits that remain, and you can see the only bit of black magic marker that remains is there, and a tiny little touch, tiny little touch on those seams, and that's it. So yeah, keep an eye out for that one. I'm also going to do it on this one, on the FAA build, but as I said in the video, I'm going to get the camera over the lathe so you can actually watch me machining it. So I think you'll probably be interested in that. Those of you that don't have a lathe, I'm afraid you'll have to use sanding sticks, but I will give you some hints and tips on where to go, because basically the biggest problem with it is not round. When you get it out of the box, it's not round. So anyway, I don't want this to turn into a Hellcat build video, do I? So yeah, air scale sets are going in. They'll be doing some more work on that later on. I think I might get some more work done on the Bronco later on as well. And also I have been asked about the Wehrmacht Schlepper, the Bronco kit. I will get back on it. If you remember, the reason I picked that up was because I wanted to build some armament, and I wanted to build something rather than spend my whole life filling sanding, because I just come through the Saturn V, which was basically an exercise in filling, and then there's also then the space shuttle, the Rebel space shuttle. God, that thing's awful. That thing is awful. So yeah, that's on the side now. That'll get finished one day, but it's just, oh Jesus, it's a nightmare. Every time I pick it up, I've gone back to it probably 3 times in the last, I mean, I haven't gone back to it since the Hellcat's been here, but probably 3 times in that previous couple of weeks between me putting it down and getting Hellcat. And every time I pick it up, I start sanding, and I find a low spot, fill it, sand it, low spot, I'll scribe something else again, you know. And I want it to look really, really nice. And I've also got the 747 for it to sit on the back of, but my God, that thing is awful. I ought to just chuck it all in the bin really and go and get the Dragon one, fill in the panel lines and make do with it. So there we go, guys. So that is basically that. Again, I want to say thank you to everyone that's commented. Thanks for all your help. Thanks for all your advice. If anybody knows, the one thing I would like to know that nobody's answered me on is, with this microphone setup and any microphone setup with an iPhone, when I'm recording, I sort of record and then I pause and then I start again, and the volume's completely different. I can either not hear myself or it's really, really deafening. And I don't know what that is. Is there a way of setting the recording level on an iPhone so it just stays consistent? Because my voice doesn't change, the mic doesn't move, the camera doesn't move, the volume goes like, it's like going from 5 to 9, you know, and then down to 3 and then up to 12. It's just ridiculous. So I'm trying to edit all that out when I do the videos, and it takes ages to try and get it all balanced out. So yeah, if anybody knows how to do that, I'd be grateful. But hopefully, with the way the money from the adverts is coming in, and the money you're pledging me on Patreon, we'll be getting a really nice camera soon. And I was looking at those cheap Chinese things, like £100. I'm going to get something nice. So there we go, guys. So yeah, thanks for watching this. If you've liked this little chat, give me a like, and maybe subscribe if you haven't already. And I'll speak to you soon. I'll speak to you, if not before, in August, and we'll do this all over again, and maybe look at a half-finished Hellcat. Bye for now.